Yeah, hey everybody, it's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and today we are playing some more Stellaris. So, you can probably tell from my voice that I'm not 100%, I'm a little bit under the weather, but today, the 2.2 patch and MegaCorp DLC released, and I have been so waiting for this and so excited to play it that I'm like, screw it, we are recording today, I don't care how I feel. So, anyways, MegaCorp released today, which adds new ways to play the game, which I'm super stoked for. In addition to that, 2.2 released, and this is probably the biggest update to Stellaris ever. 2.0 completely reworked the game. 2.2 probably reworked the game in an even larger fashion. There are so much new and different things to the game that just are absolutely wonderful. They basically, just a quick summary, they broke out planets now, so planets work completely different, and it's so cool because you have so many different options, whereas before it was, you were kind of almost limited. You know, A, you couldn't build that many buildings on planets sometimes, and then B, the buildings you were building were sometimes kind of forced by what resources it had. Now it's completely different. You can get some really unique and awesome looking planets. You can get city worlds eventually that are like just 100% cities. It's really, really cool. Then they also reworked the resources now too, so that instead of just minerals and energy, there's now alloys and consumer goods, and it's so nice. I think everything about it's so good. So they ended up doing all of this because they're basically doing another pass on a lot of the stuff in the game and just making it better. And like the diplomacy is going to be one of the things they work on in the future. But before they did that, they had to go ahead and fix the planets, how the resources and all that stuff worked, so that diplomacy, they wouldn't have to, like when they fixed diplomacy, they wouldn't have to go back and readjust the resources. So we're going to create a new game. We're going to have, we're basically adding in all of our old races into this game. I'm probably going to end up doing a 1.5 video, like episode 1.5, in which we're going to kind of go over all of these guys and kind of talk about them. If you're interested in that, if you're not, whatever, we'll be back with like 2.0 or episode 2, which will be a continuation of wherever we leave off in this one, which by the way, I'm going to try keeping a little quicker because I got a live stream and my voice sounds like crap, so I'm trying not to talk as much. But we're going to create a new MegaCorp. So we're going to go ahead and select, and we're going to be from Earth. And let's go ahead and look at government and ethics. And so now, whereas before, you know, you could do the Gestalt consciousness and you could do machine learning, you could do hive minds. Now we have the option to do megacorps. So one of the new things they added into the game is the Administrated Cap. So now in previous versions of Stellaris, you were basically limited to how much you could expand. And it was basically, if you had too much empire, you had to put some of it inside sectors, which was controlled by like governors. So it was in your empire, but you didn't necessarily have direct control of it. Gone. That's gone now. You don't need to do that. You can expand your empire. You can take over the entire map if you want, and you don't have to put anyone else in control of it, which is so cool. The downside is you now have an administrative cap. So the larger your empire is, the more star bases you have, the more planets. I think even the larger your planets are, the higher the administration cap goes. And it's not a hard cap. It starts at 30. As a corporate, it'll actually be up to 50. And once you hit that 50 point, anything above that actually then increases the cost for tradition, for technology costs, and there was one other thing which we'll see when we go in game. So essentially, the larger your empire is, the more expensive it is for technologies and stuff like that. Now, as a corporation, we have an even larger penalty. We have an extra 50% penalty now if our empire gets too big, which is kind of crazy. So essentially, they're kind of encouraging corporations to kind of play tall versus wide, which I'm absolutely loving. And in fact, we're going to get into some of these, and it really feels like corporations are going to play completely different than anything else, and I'm super stoked for it. So we now have a bunch new civics. You can see a bunch of freaking new civics. Is this one? No. Okay, so we got brand loyalty, which gives you more unity. Cool. Oh, the other thing, how corporations work now is you can now, anytime you meet other empires, you can do some sort of trading. I forgot what it's called, but some sort of trading with them. Let's see, it's under here, I think. Oh, commercial pack. So you basically trade a commercial pack with them, and then once you have that, you can install branch offices onto their planet. The branch offices then can give you different resources or technology or something like that. You basically get to build a bunch of different buildings on the planet. It gives them some benefits, and it gives you some benefits. And so that's basically how corporations kind of keep up, is they basically can build a whole freaking lot of branch offices to basically get the resources. By the way, where the heck is the music? It's really quiet for some reason. Did they, like, change this on me? Screw it. I'm gonna go a little higher. Because I love the music in this game. I think we cranked it down because it got really, really loud with some of the songs. But anyways, all right, sorry. Let's go back to new. And so, yeah, once again, we're doing humans. Oh, go back here. And then corporation. So now criminal heritage we'll talk about because that's what we're going to be doing. Franchising, this basically lowers the effects of subsidiary subject power relations. And so kind of as a corporation, you're almost encouraged now to have a bunch of vassals now. So you might put a bunch of planets down and then make them vassals so that your administrative cap doesn't go so high. This kind of basically decreases the penalties. Then free traders gives you more trade value, which is a whole new thing they added as well, trade value, which we'll get into. And then also gives you more money from your branch offices. Media conglomerate gives you less war exhaustion, more happiness from your people. Private prospectors gives you an even larger administrative cap, which, you know, is nice. Ruthless competition gives your leaders more experience, woo. And then trading post gives your star-based capacity. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing criminal heritage. So criminal heritage, basically now, we don't need to trade with anyone. We don't need to trade them commercial patches or commercial packs to get branch offices. Anyone we meet, we can say, hey, guess what? We're going to put our freaking branch office on the planet. Now, what's different is the more crime that is on the planet, the more money we make. So even though our planet itself, we don't want a lot of crime, we actually want all of our neighbors or everyone we have branch offices with to have a bunch of crime, which is kind of hilariously awesome. So I'm excited to play as that. The other one we're going to be doing is actually grayed out right now. And it's only when you pick Fanatic Spiritualist. And that one is now Gospel of the Masses. So this mega corporation embraces a curious blend of commercial and spiritualistic values, in which positions of the ordained minister and corporate officers have merged into a single role. So now spiritual pops give an additional trade value, and all planets and branch offices can now build the Temple of Prosperity Corporation building. Also too, spiritual ethics attraction is plus 50%. Your requirements, you need to have some degree of spiritualist. So we're going to be a criminal church, and we're going to get into how we're going to theme that here in just a second. As for our other ethic, I think we're just going to do xenophile so we can get extra trade. Pacifist is good because you can get an additional administrative cap, and you know, theoretically maybe the best thing we could do would actually be fanatic pacifist plus a spiritualist, so we can get the plus 20, so we'd actually be up to 70. I don't want to do that because our last playthrough we did Pacifist and it was annoying as heck. So we're going to actually get rid of Pacifist. And I think we're just going to do Xenophile just for the extra trade. Robot Upkeep isn't bad. I don't think any of these I really care about that much. Yeah, Worker Output might be nice as well though. But I like this. Okay, so I said we're going to theme this. So we are currently human. Yes, we're going to be human. Our species name is going to be Earth. Or human. The plural is going to be humans. And humans. Humans. And then the adjective is just human. Sweet. And then ISS humanoid 1. Now we want to take the Earth name. Okay, I got a good theme here. Just trust me. Although you probably already saw this. And then what we're going to actually be doing is let's actually come down to Empire name. Our Empire name is going to be the Church of Jeff. In case you were unaware, Jeff is my reindeer who's kind of basically, he's my pet reindeer who is essentially the mascot for the channel. So our objective is going to be commonism. And so anytime I create a religion in, for example, Civilization 6, we always call it commonism. Don't confuse this. This is not communism. This is commonism based on the GameCommon. So that's our adjective. Sweet. Our flag is going to be the most majestic of all, a reindeer. Thank you very much. And let's go ahead and do like straight brown. Yeah, straight brown reindeer. Our ruler then, the title is going to be Jeff. And then our ruler name to start with, I think we're going to do Brian. We're going to do me. We'll do me, and we're going to give myself a majestic beard like I had before No Shave November ended. And you have no proof that that wasn't what happened. So, anyways, our title is Jeff because why not? We probably want something spiritualistic. That looks kind of spiritualistic, sure. Ooh, that actually fits me better. Even though I don't have brown, I have light blonde brown hair. Something like that. I mean, you can look at any of my webcam videos and you know what I look like. But anyways, all right. So then our traits. This is kind of the traits for the GameCommon. Oh, so I was going to talk about kind of the histories. So here's the thing. The GameCommon, kind of this underground thing on Earth that kind of expanded and everyone decided, hey, GameCommon is amazing. Let's all follow it. And then eventually, you know, this is in like 200 years. People started worshiping Jeff because Jeff is so awesome like that. And so now all of a sudden the Church of Jeff is formed. However, rest of the universe kind of doesn't really understand why you're worshiping a reindeer. So because of that, now they don't accept us, and so we have now resorted to criminal heritage to get our point across. So we want to convert the entire world, we want it, or the entire universe, but to do that, we maybe have to sneak some buildings on people's planets and maybe encourage some criminal syndicates, you know, but for the most part, you know, we're good guys, okay? Don't let the criminal heritage make you think otherwise. All right, as for our actual traits, I think I always do learners. Not learners, sorry. What's the research one? I always do the research one. I think I want to do communal because, you know, GameCommon, it kind of sounds similar. You know, communal, sure, whatever. I think we should do wasteful. Wasteful is pretty easy to get over. It also makes kind of sense because, you know, as Earthlings, we tend to be really wasteful. Ingenious, industrious, intelligent. Yeah, intelligence is what I always go with. But I think I kind of would maybe rather do thrifty. Is there something that's a little more better themed? Talented, quick learners, slow learners, traditional. You know what? Let's do traditional. Let's do traditional because, you know, we very much believe in Jeff and we've believed in Jeff for a very long time. I think I'm going to do nomadic as well. So we can move around really easily. So that's going to be, I think, what we roll with. We're going to take Sol as our star, Sol system, and then homeworld name, Jeff's sun, Jeff's Earth. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. Oh, no. The Common. That'll be our new Earth name. Perfect. And Jeff's son. Perfect. I like it. Okay, we went through all this. Oh, we got a couple new voices as well.
As the learned say, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is also mine.
He's kind of funny.
Our multidisciplinary customer satisfaction specialists are always just a click away.
I think she is probably
possibilities with MegaCorp today.
She probably is what we should keep, but I have to do the worker.
Most abundant. Those who need will receive. Those who make.
He's so amazing. He might be annoying eventually, but he sounds so awesome. We're gonna roll with him. We already did our flag. We'll do the mammalian ship. Sounds good. We already picked that. I think we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and hit save. And we're going to hit done. The one thing, and I said we're going to go over these guys in another video, but I did want to go check these guys out, because I made these guys earlier. And I don't remember if this is new or not, but they got post-apocalyptic here, which gives them plus 70% on tomb world habitability, which is kind of hilariously cool. And then I actually ended up giving them another 20% habitability. I think it was under traits. Yeah, they're extremely habitable. So on Tomb Worlds now they have like a 90% habitability. On any other worlds they have like a ridiculously high habitability as well, which is really cool. But anyways, we're gonna play as the Church of Jeff. Let's go. I think we're gonna keep everything pretty much where it's been. These are defaults. I like doing random. Let's do on large though. Yeah, okay, it did go up. I probably want a little more races because once again we're playing as, you know, let's go even one more. We want more races, we want more empires because we're not going to expand that much. We're going to go super, super tall. Advanced AI starts 1 to 3, sounds good. Fallen Empires 1 to 3, fine. Marauding Empires I kind of hate, but we'll do 1 to 2. You know what? I might just do 1. I don't know. I don't like Marauding Empires. They weren't that interesting or fun in my opinion. I wish you could play as them. And then everything else I think we'll keep as fine, except we'll probably just bump up. What's the default? What's the easiest? I actually have no idea. I'm assuming Cadet's the easiest, right? So Cadet, Inside, I don't know what we've been playing on. I have no idea what we've been playing on. I don't really care for like the hardest one in the world. Let's just do Commodore because we're doing, we'll keep scaling difficulty on as well. That's fine. AI aggressiveness is normal. I think everything else we're just going to keep as is. Whatever. We're not playing this to win the game. I mean, ultimately, it really doesn't matter as long as someone right next to us doesn't declare war and conquer us. But that shouldn't happen. So Okay, Church of Jeff, in the eons since the first primitive human communities took shape, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's begin. We've read all that. So you'll notice immediately, the UI is 100% different. So now they have this nice little bar here, which has the quick access to everything, and instead all the resources are up here. As I mentioned before, they broke out at least some of the resources. So you still have energy credits, you still have minerals, but now you have consumer good and alloys. So minerals now are still the upkeep costs and the build costs for buildings. I think the upkeep for stations and stuff is here as well, right? Or is it maybe that's still there? No, it looks, wait. No, okay, so the upkeep cost for stations is still under energy credits. Now what's different, however, is ships now are all alloys. So to build a ship, so if we went here to Earth, let's actually do the shipyard, and we wanted to build a ship, it actually now costs alloys. In addition to costing alloys, it actually costs alloys to maintain as well. So we're going to start by building a science ship right away. Food is working the same way as it did before, except they did actually now add a decision. So if you have too much food, you can actually encourage planetary growth, which basically just gives you extra pop growth speed on the planet, which is really, really nice because you tend to always have ridiculous amounts of food. And then you have consumer goods, which was kind of in the game before, but it was kind of under minerals, and so now they basically broke it out and it is now its own thing. So if we actually look at planets and we go to population and we go to workers, you'll notice the workers now have an upkeep cost of food and consumer goods. So any non-robotic species, I think, and I also think any hive minds also don't use it as well, but anyone that's not a hive mind or robots require consumer goods and food to actually have an upkeep. And you'll notice now on the planet, we have a bunch, like this looks so different. So before you basically had a large kind of bunch of tiles, and every tile maybe had a resource on it, and the planet was always one pop per one tile. So your planets can never get that big. So for example, in this situation, since we had a 16 size planet, Earth would never be able to get larger than 16 pop. They completely changed it. As far as I know, there's no hard cap on population. Eventually you run out of housing and stuff like that. But instead of that, now we basically can build buildings. So we have unique buildings, and then we have districts. Districts we're somewhat limited by, so we can only build 16 total districts, and we have 13 available to build now because we have a bunch of blockers like before. Once we clear these blockers, then we can build districts there. Districts are broken into 4. You have city districts, which gives you clerks, which give you trade value and amenities. They give you 1 clerk job and a bunch of housing. Generators give you 2 housing, 2 technicians. Technicians give you energy credits. Mining give you 2 housing, 2 miner jobs, which give you minerals. And then agriculture, which gives you 2 housing and 2 food. So those are the basic districts. And then the workers are people that work in those jobs. So we have clerks, farmers, miners, technicians. And you can see, hey, they're giving us 18 amenities, which basically are just happiness on the planet. The more amenities, the more happiness. So you can see we're at plus 6%. And then they're also giving us trade value. Trade value right now is basically energy, but you can also get consumer goods, and you can also get, what was the other one? Minerals from it? It's one of the new policies. So we can actually do trade policy, and we can do wealth, which trade value just basically gives us, trade value earns us 1, each collected trade value earns us 1 additional energy credit. We can go consumer, so then trade value gives us 0.5, energy credit 0.25, consumer good or marketplace of idea, which gives us unity. 0.5 unity or 0.15 unity and 0.5 energy credits. So right now we're just taking the energy credits. We may switch that in the future, but for now we're not going to worry about that. The other thing is now you can also build unique buildings. Each one of these unique buildings then create specialist jobs, which then give you different things. So for example, we can do an alloy foundry, which allow us to convert minerals into alloys. Now, alloys aren't the same way as minerals, where all of a sudden you may have some systems that have alloys that you can just directly build a mine on and directly mine. But for the most part, you're going to have to actually convert them on planets, which is really, really cool. We also have research labs, which now turn consumer goods into research. Oh, by the way, research is over here. It's now broken into 3. What else? We also then have artisans, which then convert minerals into consumer goods, right? Yep. And then commercial zone, which gives us clerk jobs, which increase trade value and give you amenities. And then planetary administration also gives us enforcers, which decrease crime. So then if we look at rulers, right now we only have executives. They basically are giving us extra amenities and trade values. And I think you get 2 for just the Capitol building, right? This one gives you 2 executive jobs. Yep. And then specialists, we have the artisans, which are giving us, spending 12 to get 12. Enforcers, which are giving us a little bit of unity, and then negative crime. So you can see our crime's at 0% right now. And then metallurgists, which are giving us alloys, scientists, blah, 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 blah. So even though it seems really complicated at first, it's actually not that bad. Down here, you can see we have 4 districts left. We have 28 current population. We have 28 jobs. So as soon as we grow, we're going to need another job. We have plenty of housing, so we don't necessarily need more housing. And we have currently no unemployment. So one of the first things, and then over here, you can see growing. So before you could have, anytime you had like multiple alien races on a planet, every one of those alien races would grow at the same time. Now you can only have one pop growing at a time from any one of those races. And in fact, if we came over here and switched our policies, please, and we wanted not resettlement, we wanted, which one was it? First contact, orbital, economic, trade policy, population control. We're going to go ahead and allow it. I don't think it makes them unmad, but we'll see. Sometimes you get factions that don't like it. But if we look at the planet again, we can now actually say, hey, I want this species to grow. I want this species to grow. So if we have a bunch of aliens on the planet, we can now selectively pick which one is actually growing. Assembling, this is basically where robots get built. And then declining is when you're purging, I think, civs. So that's pretty much everything that's working. We still have influence and unity. Those work the same. Gases are now a little different as well. Sometimes you'll have different planets that can produce certain gases, but a lot of times you'll have different buildings, specifically like upgraded buildings, like the level 2 buildings will require upkeep of certain gases in order to maintain it. So you got to be a little careful because you need gases before you can actually sometimes upgrade your buildings. Empire size, like I said, this is our cap. We're at 50. Once we get above 50, then all of a sudden we're going to start, everything's going to cost more. Technologies, traditions, leaders, and campaigns are all going to cost more. Empire system, we own 1 star system. Sectors are completely different. As I said, sectors are automatically generated. And the thing is, you're not limited now to how many planets you can have. So I can control this entire area if I wanted. I don't have to put anything in a different sector and give it a governor or anything like that. Sectors now are actually automatically created. And they really don't necessarily have much impact other than, yeah, you can put governors in control, but you can still manage them all yourself. There's our population, our starbase capacity, naval capacity. Those are all the same. So what are we going to do for research? Number 1, I think we're always going to probably grab administration AI just to get extra research speed for everyone. And then Off-world trading company does what? Produces 2 trade value for each hub. That sounds really good, but I think I'd rather get society research from researchers. Just give us X amount of research. And then we can go grab... Afterburners are good, but you need a lot of extra power, so I think I'm just going to do coil guns for now. Yeah, we'll just do coil guns for now. I'm not a huge fan of any of those 3. So, we are building an extra science ship. Oh, that's the other thing. Leaders now. There's no leader cap. Leaders basically cost upkeep, and you can have as many leaders as you want. You just have to pay upkeep on them. So we're gonna pop out a bunch of science ships as we progress because they're cheap and easy, and we can now do them. Okay, so construction ship. First thing is let's go ahead and build our mining station there, and then our science ship. We are pretty. This is an interesting looking map. So we definitely want to expand here as quick as possible to box in our area. So I'm going to go survey that system. And let's go ahead and advance time. How long have we been going? 23 minutes. Okay. We're probably only going to go a little bit, so I apologize. This episode's going to be a little shorter. I may try putting out another one today, but with the live stream and everything, I got to be a little careful. So I kind of wanted to run through this stuff here. So we got sprawling slums. This region's covered by vast shanty towns and slums filled with the poor and the outcasts. Great Pacific Garbage Patch. A swirling miasma of public refuse covers a good portion of Earth's largest ocean. That's depressing. Industrial wasteland. The region's covered by ruined industrial complexes and toxic soil. Detritus from a past age of progress. All right. Then we got the Scandinavian Reclamation Center. So reclamation efforts in the late 22nd century eliminated all but the most stubborn packets of radiation mutation levels, and now an all-time low since the contamination breach. All right, what have you been doing, Scandinavia? But what's cool about this is, so now this gives us 1 additional max agricultural district. So right now we have 2 of 5. You can see that we could actually get 6 because there's a blocker there. I don't know what the other one, I don't know what the 2 grade ones are. I don't think you can do the gray ones, so... We can't afford anything right now, so keep the game going. Sahara irrigation progress. This gives us another 4 irrigation districts. If you today remember the vicious ridicule that Operation Green Sahara faced when it was first proposed. Mesopotamian urban center. This gives us mining districts. Megalopolis that stretches along most of the Fertile Crescent is in itself a monument to the ancient birthplace of civilization. Biowash metropolitan axis. The Boss Wash, rather, sorry. Riots traumatized an entire generation, led to sweeping legal reforms. Never forget. Dang it, Boston. Boston, Washington. Oh, I got you. So it's like Boston to Washington. America, man. The first region on Earth to be officially designated a mega city. This is the Pearl River agglomerate.
Construction complete.
Thank you. Several other developed urban regions would eventually adopt their own versions of the Golden Delta's successful anti-pollution policies. Sweet. The malnutrition security zone. Unexploded munitions are still occasionally found near the compound where Colonial Tektuchu and the remnants of the Brigade made their famous last stand. And the great Albertian crater. When asteroid approached Earth and triggered the Great Panic of 72, everyone thought this was it. The big one had finally arrived. Fortunately, it wasn't big enough to cause an extinction event. Unfortunately, it wiped out most of Alberta. Cool. So there you go. There's your nice little theming on Earth. It's kind of fun. So let's go ahead and then grab... We can grab some science. Let's go ahead and grab the energy. We'll build the mining station there. Bernard's Star now has trade value. So how trade value works is as soon as we go ahead and build ourselves a starbase there, we will, well, the starbase itself won't collect trade, but when you upgrade to what is the next one? I always forget the next tier up. When you upgrade to a Starhold, I think it is, right? The freaking heck is it? Oh, Starbase. When you upgrade to the second level, then you will actually start collecting trade value in that system. Now, what's interesting is when you have the starbase, you can also now build trade hubs, which increase the collection range by 1. So since our capital has a starbase, as soon as we build ourselves a starbase there, or has the trade hub rather, when we build a starbase there, we're going to immediately collect the 3 trade value, which will immediately convert into 3 energy credit. This will create piracy, but we'll talk about that in the next episode. I think for now I got to wrap this up here. I'm going to try doing another episode, and if we are able to get it done with, it'll be released later today. If not, we'll have another episode tomorrow, and we are going to do the 1.5 episode as well, where we go through the other races. So we got a lot to do. But anyways, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it. If you are, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button, join the game comment, show your support. I'll see you guys later. Bye.